Welcome to your all-active Reserve and Veterans TV series. This information education show has three goals: tell who military veterans are, share about all organizations, auxiliaries, their programs and officers at all levels, and tell about memorials in all the cities we serve in this network. The VA system, state and county officers, hospitals and state homes are also featured. Please do check out our websites, share your program ideas and concerns via the contact information on the show. We open each month's show with a patriotic theme.
The 79th Military Police Company, Detachment 2. This afternoon we are united to commemorate this historic undertaking. I would like to thank the families and friends that are here with us this afternoon for their continued strength and support. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to welcome our distinguished guests. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Wickers, Deputy Commander of the 300th Military Police Brigade. Lieutenant Colonel Dominic Wythe, Commander of the 327th Military Police Battalion. And Command Sergeant Major Peter Schimmel, Command Sergeant Major of the 327th Military Police Battalion. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to another edition of Vets Visits on TV. This is my co-host.
I'm Brad Lindsay, Olmsted County Veteran Services.
And I'm Jerry Barnhart, the founder-producer of the program. So happy you could join us for this April program, number 169. Now, our patriotic opening for identification and credits. That was the deployment ceremony of the 79th MP Detachment based in Rochester, Minnesota. Commander gave a little bit of an introduction, and then of course we heard the Star-Spangled Banner. Now let's go to some dates in history. On the 6th, America entered World War I. And Brad will have a story on the last survivor of World War I, who recently died. On the 6th, America entered World War I. And on the 10th, the Bataan Death March occurred in March of '42. On the 14th, Lincoln was assassinated while watching an event at the Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. And on the 18th is Patriots Day. And the theme that we have for today is about a special group of patriots. On the 23rd, Administrative Assistance Day. And Brad, are you taking care of Karen?
Of course, always.
Okay. And I'll try to remember to get a card to her, too, for all the great things she does for Vets Visits.
Terrific.
Let's go to our first feature. While many men and women continue to individually enlist in all branches of the service, others have trained together in reserve units. The Army National Guard has a variety of specialties for training, and come the deployment, these soldiers, or whatever, know each other very well. All around the U.S., families have been saying goodbye for many years to loved ones at ceremonies much like the one that we're going to feature today on Vets Visits. So now my thanks to the 79th MP Detachment of the 300th Military Brigade for permission to tape this event. The patriotic opening, as we have noted, is by the Detachment Commander, First Lieutenant Marcus Anderson. and we'll hear from him first, and then his introduction of the Deputy Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Wickens.
Military members, family members, and friends of the 79th Military Police Company, Detachment 2, welcome to the call of duty. The 79th MP Company descends from a lineage of citizen soldiers. The 79th MP Company has mobilized once as a whole since September 11, 2001, in support of our nation's war on terror. The first mobilization was to provide combat support and convoy security in Iraq in 2003. 3 years after that mobilization was complete, the detachment of the 79th MP Company was again mobilized and deployed to Iraq in 2006. There have also been soldiers sent as detachments for personal security detail to General Patriotic and General Lovelace. Today, the company continues to answer the nation's call by providing detachments to support Operation Enduring Freedom. The soldiers of Detachment 2 have been preparing for this deployment through an intensive training program and demanding standards. As we send them off for the next chapter of their mobilization, the company and the battalion leadership are not only confident in their abilities, but also proud that they are representing our unit. The detachment has gelled together and learned more about each other than they intended to, and this relationship will only continue to grow and allow them to be productive soldiers and complete their mission. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce the Deputy Commander of the 300 Military Police Brigade, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Wickens.
Thank you very much. It's my privilege to be here. Again, I want to thank the family, friends, the community support. This is a fantastic layout and a very large audience for such a small detachment, which tells me you really care about these soldiers, and that's a great feeling and good to see. Again, I want to congratulate Lieutenant Anderson and Sergeant Cousineau. Got some fantastic leadership out there. I know they will take care of your soldiers, and your soldiers will take care of them. That's what it's all about. I'm here on behalf of Brigadier General Teresa O'Brien. She's the Brigade Commander. Could be with us here today because she's down in Atlanta getting ready for some other mobilizations for several of our other units. It's a continuous process, and we're proud of each and every one of our soldiers. Every one of the missions we're working on is important. The Customs mission is no less important than any other mission that the MP Corps does. In fact, it's probably even more important. So each of you soldiers going out there, make sure you maintain the standard and enforce it, because that's what the Army expects of you to do. So it's not going to be easy. Sometimes you got to do the hard, make the hard decisions, but I know you'll all do the right thing. Second thing is keep in touch with your family members. Man, this is a fairly well-established area. Comes maybe iffy every now and again, but for the most part, you should be able to keep in touch with everybody, and that's important because you got to need to make sure your family members are safe, everyone's taken care of, and they need to know that you're busy, you're working hard, 12-hour days, 6-day weeks, or more, depending on what's going on. Also, take time. In my last deployment, one of the things that I did to kind of help spend a little bit of time, you don't have a lot of free time, but you want to organize it as well as you can. Take some notes. I journaled a little bit because, in 10 or 20 years when you're back and you want to think about what you did, memories fade. But if you've got that journal to go back to, you can talk about what you did. Each and every one of you are going to have a story to tell when you return. And you probably already have some from your previous deployments, but keep working on that and keep in touch with your family members.
As Jerry said earlier, the last veteran, U.S. veteran of World War I, Frank Woodruff Buckles, who lied about his age to enlist in the Army in 1917, passed away on February 27, 2011, at the age of 110. We have lost a living link to an important era in our nation's history, said Secretary of Veterans Affairs Eric Shinseki. But we've also lost a man of quiet dignity who dedicated his final years to ensuring the sacrifices of his fellow doughboys are appropriately commemorated. Burial with full military honors will be held at Arlington National Cemetery. Details about the funeral are expected to be released soon. A longtime resident of Charlestown, West Virginia, where he had a farm, Buckles was born in Bethany, Missouri. He enlisted shortly after his 16th birthday and served in France and Germany. At the start of World War II, he was a civilian working with a steamship company in the Philippines. He was imprisoned in a Japanese prisoner of war camp for 3.5 years. In his later years, Buckles became an advocate for the expansion of a little-known memorial to World War I veterans from the District of Columbia into a national memorial. More than 4,700,000 Americans served in the military during World War I. About 53,000 died of combat-related causes, while another 63,000 deaths were listed as non-combat.
Now we continue to honor all civilian soldiers who have or continue to serve our country. Because of the time limits, we'll hear next Command Sergeant Peter Schimmel and then again Detachment Commander Marcus Anderson. The MP Detachment Commander, Lieutenant Anderson, concludes with more wise words of advice to the troops and their families. And finally, on this part of the feature, we'll hear from Ken Roll from the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, Southeast Minnesota, who reminds the families of the continuous support offered to them as well.
Great turnout here. I'd like to personally thank all the families for their support of their soldiers. Without your support, that makes it hard on the soldiers getting deployed. And although you may think that your soldier doesn't appreciate all you do, they will shortly. I would also like to thank the soldiers for their dedication to our U.S. Army Reserve. Being a member of the greatest army within the greatest nation, it's soldiers like you who have volunteered for the greater good that helps keep this country free and all of the rights we enjoy as free Americans. I have a couple things that you've already heard from Lieutenant Colonels. We didn't compare notes. It's the same message. Do the right thing. You get over there in your gut. If you're feeling that this is not the right thing to do, then call somebody out. Do the right thing so it doesn't make you look bad, make your unit look bad, okay? Second, make sure you keep your families informed. You know, your families are back here. They're scared of the unknown, what's going on. Call them, email them, do the mission and get back safely. Look.
Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, my name is Lieutenant Marcus Anderson, and I'm the Detachment Commander for this mission. My NCO in charge is Sergeant First Class Paul Cousineau. Sergeant Cousineau has been in the Army for over 15 years, and this will be his 5th deployment. I, on the other hand, have only been in the Army for 7 years, and this will be my 1st deployment. Out of those 7 years in the Army, 3 of them have been here in Rochester with the 79th MP Company. Over those last 3 years, I've had the opportunity to work with and lead many of the soldiers that are deploying with us on this mobilization. Some I met only 8 months ago. In those 8 months, I have come to realize that we all have special skills and are all good at individual things. Some are good at drawing, others at paperwork and teaching classes. Some are good at sports and athletics, yet others very good at video games. In all those differences, I've come to realize that we all have one thing in common. That thing is being a soldier in the U.S. Army. Over the past few months, we've gone to training and worked on those skills of being a soldier. We've done IED reaction lanes, rollover simulators, combatives training, marksmanship with our assigned weapon systems, more combatives, and urban operations training. Much of that time in training was conducted at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. I'm sure many of you have heard stories or jokes about the training conducted, if not the complaints about the snow and cold. The purpose of this training was to make sure that each of us going on this deployment knows our job on the most basic level, and all else fails, we can perform simply as soldiers. Every soldier needs to know these tasks and be competent in them, from the private that graduates basic training to the 4-star general sitting in the Pentagon. When the adrenaline starts pumping and the situation calls for it, every one of us needs to react as a soldier, first and foremost. This training is something we must all know, for our soldiers, for our battle buddies to the left and to the right, and for ourselves. But we did it. We are proud of it, and we're proud of each other. Soldiers may make fun and joke around, but we all know when it hits the fan, we have each other. The soldier to our left and to our right. They will be there for us, and we will be there for them. In closing, I'd like to read a quote from the book On Combat, written by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman. The quote itself is written by John R. Thomas, who was the first Deputy Superintendent of the Chicago Police Department following September 11th. I believe it sums up much of what America feels, but may go unspoken. It is for the families as much as it is for the soldiers seated here today. When you begin to doubt the nobility of your mission or the sanctity of your profession because your heart is heavy, or you feel anger, disillusionment, disenfranchisement, betrayed, or confused, stop and listen to the voices that rise up from a field in Pennsylvania, the wall at the Pentagon, the spot on the earth where the world has come to know as ground zero. Because if you listen, you will hear those souls tell you thank you for what you do. Hear them cheering you on. Let them carry you through this moment. Allow them to nourish you, encourage you, and doubt no more. For you are warriors and champions, for those who have gone before you, and to those most vulnerable now. You are admired and respected, for you are the best at what you do. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you. He has a few words for the crowd.
Much. I appreciate the opportunity to just say a few things. I guess the first thing is that Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Southeast Minnesota is a group that's here for all of the families in our group today. Now, I spent 23 years on active duty, so I can say from personal experience that the Army is going to take really good care of all of you men and women in uniform. Ho, ho, ho. But at any rate, what we're here for is to take care of the moms, the dads, the wives, the husbands, and the kids. We're active in not only Rochester, but the Southeast Minnesota community areas. What we're here for is to help those folks to say we've got a monthly event for military families, we have monthly events for military parents, we have community events where the community gets to come by and honor you and the sacrifice that you're making. So please take a look. Before you go today, grab one of our refrigerator magnets. Look us up on the web. You can learn about our events and what we're trying to do to help the families that stay here. And in that light, as a citizen of Rochester and as a citizen of our country, and as a veteran myself, I just want to say thank you. The community in the region is really, really behind you. We support you. We know what you're doing, and we appreciate your sacrifice, both to the soldiers and to the families here. This is something that very few other Americans are called upon to do, but from my heart and from the heart of this community, I just want to tell you how much we appreciate that. So thank you for all of your sacrifice. God bless you all in that. One other thing is we're here at the Yellow Ribbon Ceremony, or the Yellow Ribbon Day back in January the 16th. Some of you soldiers actually posed for a picture that we could put on something we call a Hug a Hero doll or a daddy doll. We have 8 soldiers that we were able to do that for. These were for families that had children 0 to 5. We will have your doll, the young lady that's got the 8 dolls and just came in from the vendor, will be back at our little table back here. So if you signed up to do this, make sure before you leave today that you get your daddy doll. We have the voice recorders that'll go on the back side so you can actually record your voice before the soldier leaves here in the next 48 hours.
The third feature in our salute to all our military who deploy to the wars in the Middle East begins with an interview with Rhonda Larson of the local family Readiness group. Then we focus on a young couple who will ship out together, Kevin and Sally Healy. Oh yes, and we'll meet with their loved one who will be staying at home. His name is Tater Tot.
Your name?
My name is Rhonda Larson.
And you represent?
The 79th Military Police Family Readiness Group in Rochester, Minnesota.
Do most groups have a family readiness representative, or
No, not all groups do.
but they could?
They could. It
And they
just takes
should.
people volunteering to help out.
And what actually do you do in your support?
What we try to do, especially when the soldiers are deployed, we set up a family calling circle. We'll call the families once a month to just check in on them, see how they're doing, see if there's any needs that we can take care of. We also try to do a picnic or a breakfast every spring. Our proceeds from that breakfast are the money we raise to send our care packages and our letters to our soldiers. And then we have a family get together in the fall where we invite all the families to come up and we put on a picnic supper for them and a baseball game generally. We just get together and have some fun.
Okay, and now this is a continuous thing, is it not?
Yes, it is. We have had several deployments with our soldiers over the years. Most of these soldiers that are deploying today, this week, are their first time, but several of them have also deployed 3 to 5 times already.
So it's a follow-up program. In a way, you work like the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program.
Yes,
support.
yes. It's showing the support out there that there's lots of people that support our military and want to do what they can to help out the families while their soldiers are deployed.
Super. Well, we hope that every service person that's overseas would have family support network behind them.
And that's what we try to do. And we send out websites also because there are a lot of people that want to help and they just don't know how.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Larson.
Thank you.
This is Tater Tot, and he belongs to this young couple who are, we get the microphone right up there next to your chin.
I'm Kevin. This is my wife, Callie.
I am Callie Healy.
The Heelys.
The Heelys.
Okay, and you're about to deploy in the next 48, is that correct?
Yep.
What's going to happen to Tater Tot? Can I bring him to my home?
We have arrangements for
You
Tater
have
Tot. We'll be
arrangements,
fine.
of course you do.
Actually, the arrangement is we're going to put him in a box and bring him with us, so everything will be fine.
Oh, well, I heard about one news item. A lady tried to ship a dog across the United States.
I heard that's frowned on.
Yeah, poor thing. And now, about yourselves, what's your military background? Or where do you come from, first of all?
I'm originally from northern Minnesota.
From where?
I'm originally from northern Minnesota.
Up in
Bemidji area.
Bemidji, okay. Vets Visits is at Bemidji, and surrounding area. And you?
I'm from Rochester. I graduated from Mayo. I've lived here my whole life.
Okay. And then how did you happen to meet?
I was in the Marine Corps for 4.5 years, and
so was my brother.
My brother-in-law was also in the Marine Corps, and Callie came out to visit him, and the rest is
I came
history.
home with a boyfriend.
Well, isn't that neat?
Yep.
Little did you either suspect.
Right.
Right. So, did you have plans to join the service as well?
I was already in the Army when I met Kevin.
You were in the service.
Yep, I've been in the Army Reserves for 8 years, and I'm going to my
starting
third
at what
deployment.
year did you join?
2000. I graduated in 2000. I enlisted in 2001, and Kevin has gone on 3 tours. This makes his 4th, and we're very excited to be doing this together finally.
Sure, finally. What is your specialty? What are your specialties?
We're both military police, 31 Bravo.
In the area?
We're both military police.
Oh, I thought you said something behind.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And as such, what are your usual assignments? You don't just drive around in Jeeps all the time, I'm sure.
Not all the time. Sometimes we get to do some other stuff. In Iraq, military police are used as security escorts, detainee operations, convoy security, infantry relations and support. Just pretty much anything you need. Your military police also means multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose. Be ready for anything and take action.
Yep.
Don't wait until some sergeant has to. Well, you are sergeants.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm Staff Sergeant Keely and he is Sergeant Healy.
Oh, well.
He does fine. He's fine.
You keep moving. Now you heard some talks from the upper echelon, some brass, and that included some pretty wise words of wisdom.
Their wise words were stay in touch with your family, and I couldn't emphasize that any harder. My family's been amazing. They've always supported me. They've been really great with Kevin. My other wise words are just remember it's only a year. You can do anything for a year. Military comes first. You're doing this for a lot more than just yourself. It's great to be able to be a part of something bigger than just Cal.
And this time around it's kind of nice because we're going together this time, but we feel the pain that these families are about to go through. We've already dealt with that, so it's very, very important.
When I went overseas to Korea, Japan, we didn't have any of the opportunities you have for communication.
It's soldiers like yourself that paved the way for us. They didn't understand at the time how much we needed support and exactly what it took. So if it wasn't for you guys in World War II through Korea and Vietnam and everything, I don't know what we do.
So we're trying to set an example and trying to set a way for you to keep moving on and doing your best for us who are now whatever. But now there were comments from Mr. Rohr for the On the Yellow Ribbon program. You heard that comment that we are trying to be supportive of your families as well. So there's opportunities through the support groups.
It's nice to just know my parents have somewhere to go to in case I can't talk to them, that they do have somewhere they can put their questions, that they'll get answered in a timely manner. Sometimes actually the Family Readiness group knows more about than what I know. I only know the mission, I don't actually know what's coming next, so it's really nice for them to have somewhere to go.
So how long will this deployment be?
1 year.
1 year, okay. Well, bon voyage and tater tot, wherever you are. There you are. Good dog.
Yeah.
You got a picture to take along, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And you have a picture that you can show to Tater Tot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you both for sharing.
Well, Brad, that's our show for April, and we hope folks will spread the word to their friends and others so that they will be aware of the information which we share on this show. It's of value to everyone, and we especially again honor and are pleased with the service given by those who are deployed, and we hope that the deployments will stop in the near future. So we want to remind everyone, of course, the Christian season of Lent is continuing to remind us of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ made on the cross. And then we'll have Palm Sunday and Holy Week that'll lead us to the ultimate, Easter. So my friends, thank you again for joining us for Vets Visits on TV. Thank you for joining us for this month's show. Seen in over 350 communities for over 3,500 half-hour periods. Our websites have additional information about the show and are updated bi-monthly. To contact us, you are welcome to use one of these electronic methods. For all ground mail with questions, suggestions for future programs, you may use this address. Our IRS nonprofit status is 501c3, Information Education. The Minnesota Commissioner of VA and these state-level organizations believe in and endorse Vets Visits. Join us next time, won't you, for Vets Visits on TV.